Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to today's London Life Analysis. Today is the 12th of June 2025. My name is Sherman, and I'm an FX strategist. My background is in technical analysis, so we'll be doing quite a bit of that. Quick disclaimer before we begin, trading any forms of derivatives carries significant risk. Do ensure you fully understand the risk before making any trading decisions. Always start off with your demo accounts first before moving on to your live accounts. All right, there is a deposit bonus for those of you who are new here. You want to start a live account with Vantage. There is a up to $500 credit for your first deposit and then 10% for your subsequent deposits. Okay, you can do so via this QR code or the link which I'll share at the end of this session. All right, with that, let's look at TradingView. TradingView. Okay. Oh. Okay, TradingView. Okay, so this is what we were discussing yesterday. This is XAU USD. This is gold. Okay, so let's put up the standard indicators that we have. We want the wins pivot. And then we have our volume profile as well. It's highlighted in gray. We're going to use that a little bit later. All right, so this is the setup for gold. Okay, we went through breaking above M3, giving us that bullish continuation from the month of May. We're sitting above pivot, sitting above M2 monthly pivot. So we are still maintaining this bullish momentum. And if we fall below this pivot, then we're going to look for a bearish retracement and then a sell-off from there. Okay. So meanwhile, on the higher time frames, we are still bullish. We formed this channel yesterday. Okay. And we were talking about two things. One was the weekly open, and the other, okay. So the weekly open was around this area here. You want to look for any session indicators. The one I'm using is called the ICDQ zones plus pivots. Okay, add that into the charts. You'll be able to see certain key areas being highlighted. Okay, so we were looking at these two key areas here. This was yesterday's price action. The daily open, which was sitting here at this point here. So as it pushed up during the CPI news, it came back down, tapped our daily open. Okay, this blue line here is the daily open. Okay, tapped the daily open, and then it bounced back up, took out this high to Asian's high. Okay, so likewise, we are looking to see if the price does in fact get down to this level, then the daily open is going to give us an opportunity to sell off again. Okay, so it's going to be, you probably want to look at something like this, back down to this point in which there was huge surge. And I think this was due to an announcement on the trade talks in New York PM. And so the daily open here, this is a key area that we're going to look at. We basically cut through that sell-off into this daily open. So what we'll be expecting is a retracement back up into this daily open before coming back down here. Okay, so with the wins pivots in place, we can have a better understanding of what we're trying to achieve this morning in the Asian session, right? Hit into R1 without getting into R2 and 4. Okay, this is basically a bullish momentum. Okay, and the drawings that I've drawn earlier is due to this quick sell-off. Okay, so for us to actually not go any lower or to prevent any or to find any indication that this price is going to go higher into R2 and 4, okay, this low has to be a level that is defended by the buyers. So we cannot be seeing a sell-off below this. Any of the buyers that got in here, they should present that bullish move back up into the starting point, which is at this area here. And once this group of buyers are out, then we can be pushing up into this area here. So a lot hinges upon not selling off below this level. Okay. And if we do sell off below this level, our targets will probably be the daily open. Okay, this might be the New York move. Okay, the move from this end to this area here might be our New York move. Okay. So London move has already been presented to us. There was the 330 sell-off from this top here. Okay, so we just want to see if this group of buyers will maintain their strength. If they maintain their strength, then we'll probably slowly crawl the way back up. Okay. Within the next half an hour to an hour, if we do not see sufficient buyers coming in and it breaks below this candlestick wick, then we can potentially see a quick retracement back up to the daily open before selling off again. So both of this presents us with 30 points each. Okay, so for those of you who are scalping, what do we want to see for us to actually buy up this? Okay, this was the first group of buyers. This is the second group of buyers. So both of these areas here are weak in terms of buying strength. So you want to see this level gets rejected. Okay, if this level gets rejected, okay, we want to make sure that prices are either getting defended at this level here again before looking for a buy. Okay, but if the weakness continue, then it's weakness continue from here. Okay, potentially we will see, if we see a lower high being created, lower high being created, lower high being created, then we'll be looking for that sell-off. Okay, pretty standard for gold tonight. And today is Thursday. So if you look at the calendar for tomorrow and actually for tonight, on TradingView, you'll be able to see all of the key events that are happening. You click on this to filter out all of the lower tier or the green and orange folders, okay, leaving the only high importance events that are going to happen. So we have PPI, okay, forecast. Okay, the actual last month was negative 0.5, so there was in fact a slowdown. Okay, whereas the forecast was 0.2, again this month 0.2, where we see a further fall off of the producer price inflation. Okay, then there is another survey coming out tomorrow. So these are the high impact news that we kind of want to watch out when you're trading XAU USD. Okay, so again, this indicator here helps you to mark out the highs and the lows. Okay, and right now we are trading below the daily open. So this is usually a bearish sort of momentum, right? Anyone who bought right at the start of the day, they are all being stopped out from this price action. Okay, cool. Are there any symbols that you guys want to look at? Okay, otherwise we'll be looking at our indices. Okay, US 500. Okay. So a very clean, clear-cut channel upwards. Okay. So any break of this structure, we will be looking for probably some sort of support all the way down here. Okay. What kind of event will cause this? Definitely not tariffs again, right? Probably more dire news like a recession and continuation of the trade war. Okay. Would there be further upside? Probably, right? This is an easy target to take the previous high before breaking down, probably to cover up this gap before we move up again. Okay, let's look at some of these levels. So we want to look at the previous day's high, previous day's low, previous week high, previous week low. Okay, so we rejected off previous week's low, previous week's high. Okay, so that would mean that this was the Monday and this was the high that was created last week. So we popped out 3 days, and right now we rejected off previous week's high. Okay, daily open started here, so there was a gap down on the daily open. Okay, retrace back up into this key level and then a sell. So potentially we'll be looking at a weak S&P 500 during the New York session today. Okay, and where is that channel that we'll be looking at? We'll probably be looking at this channel here. Okay, so probably hit down even lower, and then maybe some respite back up. And then the breakout or the break below can be news induced. Okay. So while trading your S&P 500, it's nice to kind of take a look at two kinds of openings. One would be the rollover time during the from the end of New York to Asian. Okay, and the next timing to watch out, it's around the time 1 hour before New York open. And what was that move in the what was that price action from 1 hour before to the time when the market opens? Okay, you do not have not a big gap here. This is the Wednesday open. Okay, so that's why range, and then you have the CPI news that created the big moves. Here you see a push above, so opening gap in the morning. So like when something like this happens, usually comes back down to close the gap. Okay, for this it went down even further, but as we can see, as it breaks out of London into New York, it dips back right into this entire gap that was created in the open, and from the New York transition into the London transition to the New York. Okay. This opening gap was down. Okay, so as you come back up, and we try to look for shorts around this level here. Okay, so you get a few opportunities during the New York AM. Okay, New York London went up, and then New York PM sell off. Okay, and the weekly open, you can see that this was the sell off. So this is going to be a critical level because this was the weekly open. Okay, so potentially now towards the end of the week, we'll probably see sell-offs. We'll probably see sell-offs. Okay, profit taking for the Thursday and Friday sessions. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Quite disappointing, right? Resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay, downward move, downward move. So we want to see where was that level that broke the this entire range here. Okay, so potentially this high and this high. Okay, so potentially want to see some sort of sell-off back up into here and then sell off, or higher into here and then sell off. Okay, let's look at some currencies that we are that trading heavily during this period. Okay, so pound dollar. Okay, so this was Monday's move. Okay, let's talk about last week's move again. Okay, so the whole of last week, you can see from Monday, continuation from this breakout of the channel, downward channel, up, up, and then Friday we got a break off this channel, break off this channel. Okay, so as it breaks off, came back up, look at the point in which it broke off, and then down, down, and further down. Okay, so this is supposed to be the continuation of the downtrend, right? Let me just draw that downtrend. Okay, and so this broke above. This could be considered, okay, considered a retracement, but we are still concerned about this level here. Okay, so right now we are coming into this area, so we want something like this to happen, come down into this area. Okay, that's where the next group of buyers will come in. So two things will happen. Either we see a surge up, and that's where we continue selling the dollar, or we get lower and lower and lower before it cuts off. Okay, so in this scenario, selling at around this level here would make sense for us. Okay, for us to actually sell into this level. And if we get stop out due to that the buyers coming in, okay, then there's a confirmation for us to move back up again. Okay, and the conditions here that we see would be Asia, there was a buy-up, failure to make a higher high here before that sell-off. Buyers couldn't even get back up into this point of control at 35.81, and hence this is going to be the key areas that we'll be looking at during the London session as well as the New York session. Okay, this is this is an area in which we have not taken yet, so we might potentially see something like this before moving down. Okay, 50% is roughly around here. Okay, this will be premium zone. Okay, pound dollar. So we might be wrong. We might not be able to see price move back up here, but there was a V-shaped movement here. So anyone who sold here with this move down, if they did not get they did not hit their TP or they did not get out here, right? This was quite a bit of a panic buy-up created by the last group of sellers here, right? Because if this was a fresh group of buyers, then you'll see probably just two instances before it moves up back up. So no matter what, this move here, be it sellers getting out or buyers stepping in, this is considered to be bullish in nature. Okay. Right now we're just seeing if this holds. Okay. So the longer it takes to move in either direction, the more likely it will move up towards this level here. Okay, you got a second group of sellers here also. So the move from this area up to this point of control, it's going to be fast. Okay. Otherwise, from here up to this level here, this is a slow move towards the upside, as buyers and sellers are deciding whether or not to take that. Okay. This is pound dollar. Euro dollar is moving a lot more. Or in fact, it was not affected by that sell-off in the afternoon. Okay, so euro still holding strong. Okay. A couple of movements to be bullish, kind of bullish for euro. Okay. And then the final one will be this level here. Okay, that will be your previous high. So we are short of probably another 50 pips, 40 pips to the top. Okay, so essentially what we want to do is we want to look at bid opportunities at the best price. So that's somewhere around here, and then we want to see something like this. All right, cool. Let's take a look at gold again. Okay, so again, the wick, if we break below this wick, okay, then we're probably coming back down into this level. Okay, otherwise the continuation to the upside. So this sort of movement back up, okay, we want to see 100% retracement to kind of show that strength in the bias. Okay, this is also the POC. So you got a POC around this area here. So if we do in fact see something like this, and then break out, retest. So this is a pretty solid move by the buyers. Okay. This group of buyers, right? Stopped out, came in strongly, break above. This was a 10 pip move. Okay, so this was a 10 pip move. So you potentially can see the continuation. It will be trading along this trend line all the way back up to the top. Cool. So we went through quite a bit of symbols today. So hopefully that was useful. I think that's all I have for you guys today. Are there any symbols that you guys want to look through? Feel free to comment in the chat, right? Otherwise, let me just show you guys the two other links, two other important links for you to get your hands on the free deposit bonus if you're creating the live account for the first time on Vantage, right? So it's at vantagemarkets.com under promotions. You get that deposit bonus right on the right hand side. All right, two other links, vantagemarkets.com/academy/live. This is where you find all of the past webinars and all of the past discussions that we have. We used to be talking a lot about pivot points, okay, but more and more, I think that's something pretty standard in our analysis. We are starting to look at other indicators to mark out certain key areas for us to do our analysis. So we'll see more of that in the future. Okay. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, Sherman. Okay, my name is Sherman, and email support@vantagemarkets.com. All right, with that, I guess that's all about it. I think if you guys do not have anything else, I'll see you guys again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Singapore time. All right, let's do silver before we end off the session. All right, let's do silver. Cool. So silver has broken out of our range. Okay. So you're potentially gonna see this level here as the support. Okay. We potentially want to not see price get back down into this level, because if that's the case, it might break down. So in fact, what we want to see is we want to see prices take off from here into a new zone. So if you're going down on the lower time frame, we do not want to see silver break below this level here. Okay, sellers sold all the way down here, no longer any more sellers at this point in time. Buyers scoop up all of the trades, all of any sellers who are sitting here, scoop it up, right, and then push it higher. So as it comes back down into this level, this is going to be an area that we'll be looking at. The downward trend okay, is a very slow sell-off. Okay, so this is the short-term resistance. Okay, so we potentially want this level to be defended. Okay, we do not want to see anything go below it. And as we trade above this, okay, as and when we see a break above this level, this is our opportunity to continue that long. Okay, otherwise, if you're already in a buy position somewhere around here or anywhere lower, this is where we'll probably be looking to add on to the positions. Okay, so you can see as long as this continues, probably until next week, right? We'll be looking at a next Tuesday or Wednesday buy if it breaks out from this level higher. All right, cool. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you guys again next week.